thing you will notice. The first is, of course, the giant flaming hammer. So, spoiler alert, he does use this giant hammer to create fire in the environment. He can hit the ground with it. It makes like a lot of flames everywhere, makes the environment super hot. So then you need to avoid not only like, you know, the giant hammer, which is enough trouble on its own, but also what that creates in the environment, which, you know, when you fight with him, after like, you know, 2-3 minutes, you can get into a situation where you look at the battlefield and you don't know where to go because there's so much fire everywhere. Yeah. Like, it's not one and done. The fire stays in the environment and it does affect the battlefield a lot.
He also has like an anger management problem because he can get into, like, if you start doing a lot of damage to him, he's gonna get angry, like flame up its entire body and run directly at you to smash your face.
One other way he can react to you is if you climb on him, you know, because he's quite dangerous when you're on the ground, so you're like, oh, I'm gonna climb on him, you know, that sounds reasonable. But then he can shake you off, but most importantly, he can just grab you and just like crush you in his hands.
And then throw you back in the fire.
And just like, yep, in the fire you go.
The location at which you fight the Ark of the Forge is also important because they're going to be roaming around all the maps that we have in a game. So some maps are going to be way more difficult for you to defeat it. So inside a forest, you can imagine that everything's going to become like a blaze. So if you get to caves, then that might be a little bit easier. The weather also in Enclave is kind of all chaotic, so sometimes you have big shift of weather. So if you can manage to fight or encounter the Ark of the Forge when there's a big flash freeze with full of snow, you might have a better chance to defeat it.
So as Fred mentioned, it's really good for you as a player to engage with the Ark of the Forge during a flash freeze because everything is cold, so it lessens its power. However, we also have droughts in the game, which has the opposite effect where everything becomes hotter. So the air in the level will actually get to a higher temperature easier, which that is not to your advantage. So maybe if you're not geared for the fight and you're in a drought and you see a fire creature in the level, maybe you should reconsider. So the Ark of the Forge, as you can guess, is a fire-based creature. So once you defeat him, you will be able to get a firepower thread, which you will be able to use in your own toolkit. And we try to keep like a link between what the player gets and what the epic uses, so you'll be able to understand what you just...
Hello, everybody. I hope you're as excited as I am to be disappointed today. Now, to be fair, compared to a lot of the last showcases over the last year or two, like there's more going on around this one than the others. So it's not impossible, but that's half the problem, isn't it? $10 seconds. Okay, I turned that way down, but I can turn it back up a tiny bit for maybe this actual showcase. I have no idea what kinds of games we're going to see at this, aside from, you know, not seeing Silksong. The double ad, eh? Yeah, that's no good. I'm not sure. I've found YouTube ads have been a little bit worse lately. A lot more like unskippable ones and stuff. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see, Kira. Could be. It's more likely than ever that we still see Silksong today, but it's still very unlikely. I think we'll hear something at least by the end of the summer, but that doesn't mean we'll hear today. But the copium is flowing through me, I gotta tell you. I'm feeling a little too excited. I can't fight it. But maybe there will be something else in this showcase, at least, that's like exciting. Problem is, we always hope at like the Nintendo ones and stuff, because was it a Nintendo showcase that first showed Silksong? I think the Nintendo Treehouse. But the Nintendo showcases are always so bad. Yeah, I mean, if we all hope together, Team Cherry will hear us, right? Instead of just complaining on the subreddit. And what's really crazy, I was thinking about the other day, is like how many years it's been since we've seen new Silksong footage. So I wonder like if it's really different from when the last time we saw it, like if it'll have a different look to it or anything like that. What kind of updates they've gotten to since then. It's been years at this point, right? So I'm really curious what they've done. Let me know if you want the sound turned up or down a little bit. So you can hear it a little bit, but it's not overpowering. Was that little game that was just playing? I wasn't really paying that much attention. Screaming inside? Yeah, we all are. We're all screaming inside if it's not here, and we're all screaming inside if it is.
When is all this happening exactly? Oh, that's the best part, Damon. It's happening right now.
Here's 33 Immortals.
I think it's very likely that we'll see something this summer. It would be cool if the game came out later this year. This game, 33 or however many Immortals, actually looks good. 33. Looks relatively fun. I like the look of it too. Although, I play mostly solo games. I don't have friends to play games with. Are you kidding? Who's got the time? I was getting back into Hades this last week or two as well, since the technical test came out. Of course, I didn't get a code into the technical test. I wasn't one of the lucky ones, but I played a lot of Hades 1 in my day, so I'm excited for the second one. Do what you got to do, Crisscross. See, look at the art. It's so good. Oh, I love it. It's like the main reason that I start playing a game is just if the art is pretty. Oh, like that exposed heart. Oh my. Although I think you fight a heart in Slay the Spire. Another roguelike. Yeah, you don't want unavoidable, unblockable damage.
Take advantage of each player's unique skills and weapons to tackle Lucifer's formidable challenges, whether they're his own attacks or those done.
I have to admit that this looks a little more boring than I hoped. I feel like I've seen other footage that looks a little bit better than this. But it's still an interesting concept for a game. And still, the art looks good. Ooh. Closed beta. I guess I better sign up, eh? Them 33 Immortals. Now, they did say for this showcase there's going to be some indie game that was announced in 2019, and we haven't heard from for a while. Is that the Skong?
Hey guys, come on, we're all pals here. And you know where else you'll find some pals?
Oh no, not more Pal World.
Yeah, so much for the surprise.
That game already came out, right? Why is it at showcases still? Yeah, an estimated release date. Even just the year would be great right now. If we have to wait till 2025 or something, that's fine. But I would love just anything. Oh, Pal World. I actually haven't played Pal World yet, but I have a long list of games to get through that I haven't started, or some I have started and I just haven't gotten very far. I've been very distracted by Baldur's Gate. And what did I play recently? I played the Nine Souls demo, since that's coming out at the end of the month, and I backed the Kickstarter. It's the end of the month, end of May. Sacrifice all our possessions. If you sacrifice all your possessions, how are you going to play it? Yeah, it's just hard to predict with Team Cherry at this point, right? Because we've heard so little in the last few years. The best we've gotten was Leth saying that it will come out before Crowsworn. Like Crowsworn, I think, is coming out next year. But I think it's a tentative next year, not like a definite next year. Another indie that looks really good. Oh my. What am I looking at here? Some sort of tactical stealth isometric game? R5, do you mean P5? Haven't done the P5 yet? I do have a video for how to beat Absrad. Just getting to her is half the problem, though. Yeah, get it, Dragon Lord. There's actually some stuff I still haven't done in the game. I haven't done any of the speedrunning achievements. I would like to get some mediocre time on the leaderboard, maybe, so I'd like to find some time to grind that out a bit. But I've also been filling all my time with Baldur's Gate content. The live stream I started last week for that, every Thursday and Friday. And we're waiting for the Skong. And then I got a little distracted by Hades as well. Radiant P5, that would be... I see, like just doing P5 but without getting hit, basically. Yeah, I'm missing a couple of achievements. I have most of them. Oh my god, what happened? My webpage ran out of memory. That's the worst thing that could happen. Why on earth? I had too many tabs open, I guess. No, I don't even have that many web pages open. That was really weird. Can't have that happening if the Silksong gets shown. What are we looking at here? That creepy pixel art look. Oh. Horrifying beast. Yeah, I haven't done a ton of speedrunning. I think getting under the 5 hours for the achievement is probably not that tough once you've played through the game a couple times. But I would love to get like around an hour if I can manage it. But I just haven't done the attempts yet. I used to speedrun Hades. But speedrunning a Metroidvania is a lot different than a roguelike. I typically like to enjoy a game and really like check every corner and take my time with it. So I've just never done a fast Hollow Knight run. I did Steel Soul for the first time a few months ago, but yeah, grinding that Absrad is tough. Even when you've beaten it a few times, she's just so inconsistent. Like her attacks are so fast that you can get overwhelmed so easily. Yeah, Great Princeton's pretty tough too. Again, it's all the bosses that are like hard to predict. Markoth usually gets people too. I feel like I've done GPZ so many times that I'm a little bit more used to him now, but Markoth can still get you when you're not fully focused on it. Is this a skateboarding game or a slice of life game? Wow. Flipping people off. No, not Markoth. Yeah, Markoth. It's the moths, man. The two moths are the hardest bosses. I think took me the longest to do Absolute Radiance on Radiant, but Markoth was probably next. I also struggle with Pure Vessel for some reason, and I shouldn't really struggle as much as I do, but I just like can't get that fight in my brain. I died to it a lot doing my P5 runs. Nightmares of Radiant Markoth. Yeah, never again. Nice thing though is that Markoth is just like a shit fight. It's not fun to do and it's annoying and you just like lose to bad patterns. But Absrad is at least attainable. Like you can learn it. It feels better to overcome it. I didn't hate the grind nearly as much as I did for Markoth. I feel like these have been some weird games so far. You love a slow walk. It's a real difference between some of the gameplay animation here and some of the cutscene stuff. Oh, we got a guitar attack. Oh, is it a rhythm game? Like a fighting rhythm game that's turn-based? Jukebot. Oh god. I'm liking the vibe here, but I don't really get it at the same time. It's a lot of disparate things here. Yeah, the nail arts help. What did I do? I pogoed him a lot and then just saved up soul for the last phase and shrieked at him a bunch of times until he died. I've seen a lot of people use what's it called? Grubberfly's Elegy, because the Grubberfly attacks go through his shield too. Luckily, Silksong will be cheap though, Kira. Like, I can't imagine that Silksong's gonna be much more expensive than Hollow Knight was, which is like 20 bucks or something. But there are a couple good games coming out. Nine Souls comes out next month. Hades 2 Early Access. I'm really looking forward to Black Myth Wukong too. That one was announced like 5 years ago and is finally coming out. I also bought Dragon's Dogma 2 and have like 5 hours into it and just haven't made any more time for it. Its release was kind of a mess, but it is actually pretty fun. But I'd also rather just always be playing Baldur's Gate right now. It's so good. Yeah, I mean, yeah, nail arts. A lot of people avoid trying to learn how to use nail arts, but they're really good. Especially on bosses like that where you can't just like quick slash them to death. Highly recommend.
Talk about why it belongs and finally find out where it ranks. Are any of the movies we've shown here even on the list? I have no idea, and it drives me crazy. Join us as we find out on the Cinefix Top 100, Mondays starting July 3rd.
Interesting. It's like a weird ad for a gaming showcase. Well, I guess it's IGN. That makes sense. Very close to winning, yeah. Spawn. Yeah, Markov. That's the problem, is that you can feel like you're doing good, and then just one sword spawns in the wrong place, and you either fall into it, or you just can't escape it. Sad. There's a lot of ads in a row here.
If people come to the game now and see what's going on there, I think they'll be surprised.
Join us as we dive into hyper-dedicated fan bases, worldwide phenomenons.
But luckily for every Markoth, there's a few bosses that are actually fun.
It was actually not what I expected in the best way.
Inside Stories, available now only on
Only on IGN. Alright, show us some games, man. That's what we're all here for. Yeah, sometimes it's just what works, Dragon Lord. The only thing I avoid is like cheesing bosses in the corner with minions. You can do that with a few of them. But basically everything else is good to go. Also, Descending Dark, always a good choice on any floor that has a any stage that has a floor. Sorry.
Hey, do you like arcade kart racers but wish there were more karts on the track? Like, I don't know, say 60 of them? Well, coming up, there's a game just for you.
Nice. Yeah, Pure Vessel, I don't know why I struggle with Pure Vessel as much as I do, but no matter how many times I fight him, or fight them, I always choke in the Pantheon. I think in the actual Pantheon, I've died to Pure Vessel more times than Abstrad. Or probably any of the other bosses. A McLovin video, eh? Well, we'll see. We'll watch out for him. There have been a lot of kart racers recently. And yet none of them seem to be able to overtake Mario Kart, despite the fact that there hasn't been a real new Mario Kart game in years. The only one that really ever hooked me was Crash Team Racing back in the PlayStation 2 days. I didn't play the new one. I assume it's decent. But I love the old one. Yeah, I'm not sure what attacks specifically I struggle with, Dragon Lord, but I don't know, I just get in my head, I think. For a long time, I was not jumping enough, I think. I was trying to dash through him all the time, which is a recipe for disaster. I just find his attacks look very similar. So I'll like think he's going for the lunge, and then he'll do the three-part attack, or I'll like dash poorly through his daggers or something. I just probably have to do it more. But I haven't played the game much recently. Kart racing would be, or kart racing in Silksong would be something else. A little bug racing. Try to beat Lace. Game just for adults, eh? What on earth? What is happening? Oh, a naughty pack for Jackbox, eh? My goodness. Wow. I haven't played much Jackbox. My wife plays with their school friends a lot. Yeah, parrying... I do struggle with parrying the triple slash. Sometimes if I jump over, I can like pogo it once at least to get over it. But I'm too impatient to like properly parry stuff. I just want to get in there and attack. I'm a very aggressive player. I'm still standing by that these have been some of the weirdest game trailers in any showcase. But I still don't know like what half these games are about even. What is this, like some kind of like sim or like a dating, robot dating, alien dating game? What on earth? Times and Galaxy. Yeah, it did have some Fall Guys vibes, Kira. None of these have really hooked me so far. Double jump, pogo. One more pogo. I feel like I've seen this before. Sulfur. Maybe just looks... There's so many games coming out these days, it's hard to keep track. Interesting that those bodies are like twisting on the ground. Because they're 2D models in a 3D game, it looks like. We all love loot. Hoo boy. I actually don't know how long this showcase is either. Usually they're about 45 minutes to an hour. How far are we in? Like almost 20 minutes? At least this game is showing a lot of gameplay. I don't like the bodies moving on the ground though when you walk by them. Yeah, Umu is hard until you kind of figure it out. Then he becomes kind of one of the easier bosses. but it takes some practice to aim the Umas. Yeah, this looks alright. But GPC is a nightmare like some of the other random bosses. Takes a while to learn, to consistently dodge his, like all his falling down. And like training your brain to jump over all the shockwaves.
You just saw trailers for Stampede, Racing Royale,
You just saw.
Naughty Pack, Time and Galaxy, and Sulfur. 4 unique indie flavors that taste great together.
Unless you try and play all 4 of those games at the same time, which is not
Well,
the way to
why would you do that?
Always looking out for you here at the 2024 ID at Xbox Showcase. It's the least we can do. And now, more indie games.
What was the point of that little bit? Yeah, I mean, yeah, the bosses with like random attack patterns are the worst on Radiant for sure. In his regular fight, you can like tank a hit or two, and it doesn't really matter so much. But there's a lot of overlap, and you also have to like. One of the biggest things with him too is using Shade Soul usually to destroy all his minions and the bombs. I didn't realize for a long time that you can actually destroy like the ghost bombs, and you don't have to just wait for them to explode.
But when I go to the Underland below, that's when things get a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, and then like sometimes it looks like he's gonna go for an attack and starts flailing his nail, and then instead he like falls over right into where you were trying to dodge to, or you were trying to pogo on him, but he falls early, and so you just fall into him because your pogo misses. It's definitely a pain in the ass. It's a fight that I actually kind of enjoy, not on Radiant, but is kind of a pain in the ass on Radiant. But there are a lot of fights that are fun on Radiant, like Nightmare King Grim and Troopmaster Grim, both great on Radiant. Sisters of Battle, great on Radiant. There are some good ones. I also really, really like fighting the Traitor Lord. It's one of my favorite fights for some reason. It's kind of basic and simple, but I don't know. It's like high pace, and you're rewarded for being really aggressive. Yeah, Grottock's egg. Get it.
When the time is right, I'll be able to hatch the egg, and I'll gain a new addition to my beast menagerie, who I can then bring into the Underland to help me out in all sorts of ways. So that's a little snippet of what makes up our game. If you like what you see and you want to find out more,
it's like a halfway reasonable, like open world looking game. Some cool traversal. It's kind of neat looking. Yeah, Mantis Lord's great, and the music, top notch. All about that, those sweet beats. Skill issue. We all have to overcome some level of skill issue. What on earth? Weird Tetris. Multiplayer. Weird Tetris. Oh, dude, you're gonna get knocked into the water. Oh no. What chaos. It's probably great for kids. What on earth? Oh, I'm seeing the little feet under them now too. That's just horrible. What the hell? Truly horrifying. Oh yeah. Every game now, you gotta have like hats and glasses and stuff to put on your guys. My couple of my friends and I have been playing a lot of Boomerang Fu. It's a Switch game. It's like a party game, but you get a boomerang, you gotta kill each other, and you're all little food items. It's very cute and fun.
A ton more surprises up ahead right here on ID at Xbox and IGN. Can we tease one of them?
Like, make fun of them in rude or mean ways? Like, spread a vicious rumor about them on the playground? I don't know why you'd want to do that to any of the games here today. None of them have done anything to deserve that. After all, isn't teasing just a less mean version of...
These showcases need better writers.
One of the games we're going to show later, as in the show, reveal a part of a surprise, like a clue. You know what? Forget it. It's Vampire Survivors. We're going to show you new stuff coming to the hit game, Vampire Survivors. Does that work for you?
I assume this is the Castlevania stuff. Or wait, Vampire Survivors. I was thinking V Rising. There's like a some sort of gun update today. Showcases love that. Nintendo especially loves to drop like 3 or 4 of their games the day they reveal them. What is this? Is this I feel like I played something like this at one point. Tales of Iron 2, yeah. I didn't love Tales of Iron 1, I have to admit. I didn't get very far. I like some bats though. Holy. Yeah, I assume if Silksong is in this showcase, that's going to be the last one. Ooh, I haven't done any of the modded boss fights yet. I should do those. Oh, that's a dead king. Little grappling hooks. This is pretty fun. Yeah, like I said, the first one of these didn't really hook me, but something this looks okay, but the other one looked good too, and then I played it and I just wasn't loving it. Maybe I should give it another chance sometime. So annoying. Any rad? Yeah, I'm sure you can find downloads for the smaller versions. Just regular Anti-Radiance, or sorry, regular Apps Rad was hard enough. Oh, don't eat people's heads. What's funny is that this trailer is making the game look more like an action game, but I'm pretty sure it's turn-based. Maybe I'm misremembering that. Yeah, you wouldn't probably want to start with just 3.0. Oh, and yeah, it'll take... I mean, the people that have done it, I mean, it's like hundreds of hours, I think, of grinding it to learn it. I just don't have that kind of time. Too old.
Under control and get the cargo back here to Gutra's Diner, a new spot in our shiny Zeta City. When you are in here, keep a sharp eye on the goons hanging around. They got ways of dealing with trouble.
Again, what kind of game is this? Like a beat 'em up, almost?
If you know what I mean.
Hangry. What a mess. What else you got, Xbox? Rated T for teen. That means not Silksong because it has a rating now. Yeah, if you can master the harder fight, it might make the easier one easier. But sometimes it can have the opposite effect. Like I've heard a lot of people who grinded Nightmare King Grim a lot, and then they go back to Troop Master Grim and they can't do it because the timing is so different. Even though the attacks are similar. But that's not the case for everybody. Still, it could be fun to at least try for a bit and see. Like, you can like watch it and see how hard it is, but I feel like actually playing it, you get a different understanding of it, you know? Oh, is that a pinky toe? What on earth? This game looked normal for a minute, and then you were a toe and a tofu. What? Also, it's a card game? What is happening? What the heck? I have no words for this one. I don't even know. They are goofy, right? Like, not... it's not just me. Like almost all of these games have been weird, which like I guess I'm all for that. Let's have some weird games in the world, but what the fuck? What? I don't know. I don't get it. What a wild ride. Like they're all rated teen too. Camera games? Oh, it's just listing a whole bunch of different stuff from one publisher or something. So we're getting weird again. So it's like a turn-based battler. Looks coolish, maybe. Or is this... Okay, so these are... Yeah, again, these are a bunch of different games. Like a bullet rush. Yeah, I'd have to look into it, Dragon Lord, to know, but usually... I'm not sure where it's hosted. Is it on Nexus Mods? Usually there's an archives section that you can look through past versions. Or if you just Google it or look it up on Reddit, there's probably a post somewhere with some links you can follow. Whenever I have a question that I need answered, I just like type in the question and put Reddit at the end. Because usually the people, like there's some post where people have answered the question properly. Instead of getting some random website with a million ads that never answers the question. On Nexus Mods, if you go to the AnyRad, again, I'm not actually sure if it's on Nexus Mods, but wherever any Radiance is hosted, there should be an archive section with all the past versions, usually. But I don't know for sure. It's just my my advice to start your search. I'd want to do the Pale Court first, probably.
That was a look at the upcoming indie games Tales of Iron 2, Hangry, Promise Mascot Agency, and a ton of upcoming releases from Gamera Games, which will all be hitting Game Pass day one.
There you go. Game Pass. I get addicted to like singular games for long periods of time, so Game Pass doesn't work for me. I don't play enough games within a month.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's pronounced triple I. You know, like triple A, but with I for indie.
Are you sure that doesn't really like roll off the tongue like ay ay ay?
Well,
Neither of those really roll off the tongue.
set the record straight.
I gotta admit, I kind of hate the whole triple I thing now. This indie game is fine. Listen, Triple Initiative had their own showcase already. It's a nice action-looking game. Yeah, it's a high-risk move, Dragon Lord. Certainly we'll be talking about it if it does show up. Even if they didn't show any new footage, just a release window would be so amazing. Be so much less stressful. Yeah, Vampire Survivor's Operation Guns. I know people love Vampire Survivor. I never gave it a go. Flintlock looks really good, though. Actually, I'm looking forward to this one. Well, we're almost 40 minutes into the showcase now. We're running out of Silksong time.
That was a look at some of the featured games from the Triple I Initiative, all of them coming soon to Xbox.
Next up, we're checking out an action RPG that has players embarking on a nice, relaxed
Like an action RPG, eh?
in the Austrian Alps.
Wow.
My lovely vacations don't usually involve dungeons, personally, but who am I to judge? Let's do some sightseeing in Dungeons of Hinterberg.
Silksong one time! Come on! Right? I don't think we're going to be that lucky, unfortunately. More Wario Land 4 than Pizza Tower? Yeah, fair enough. Pizza Tower I never played either. It was on my list and I just haven't gotten around to it. I have such a long list of games I would like to be playing. I have like 4 different Metroidvanias downloaded right now. I'm just not playing any of them. There's only Copium. There's nothing else. The one solace is that at least like there's some decent games coming down the line to tide us over. Both with, I think that Hades 2 early access will be great. And then Nine Souls comes out at the end of May. There's 1 or 2 others, I think. But it's the perfect time to play older Metroidvanias. I started Blasphemous 1 a while ago. I got Guacamelee downloaded.
You can book your trip to tour the
Ori. I played the first Ori, and I have the second one, but I haven't played it yet.
Most survival games require players to collect materials and harvest resources.
Yeah, I mean, it was a low chance when we started, but the further we get, the less it looks good. But again, if it's going to be in the showcase, it'll probably be the last thing they show. But I'm not sure how much time we have left. I got a nice clown image of Hornet to put in the thumbnail once this is done. For what? Is this Vampire Survivors again? Or something. I guess it looks like something else, but... Yeah, I mostly enjoyed Ori 1. And Ori 2 is supposed to be like leagues better than the first 2, so probably still worth playing both of them for sure, but they should be a good time. Do the Dread mode in Metroid Dread. Yeah, actually, I've never played many Metroid games. I did play Dread and didn't love it, but I should go back and play some of the older ones. Same with Castlevania. I've never really played a Castlevania game, and I really should try to play some of the good ones, but a lot of them are hard to come by. It's hard to find them. Vampire Survivors. I keep getting Vampire Survivors and V Rising mixed up in my head. It's so weird to like see the like animated trailers like that and then see the actual gameplay. Bit of a dichotomy there. Oh, if it isn't death. Really hope it isn't as difficult as Hollow Knight because I have enough magazines. No, yeah, Metroid Dread was pretty easy. The last boss is kind of tough, but it wasn't that bad. It's wild times in the showcase.
And that's a wrap on this year's
Oh, that's the whole thing?
We're not finished just
Oh.
yet. Although the showcase part of the ID at Xbox Showcase is coming to a close, that doesn't mean we don't have more to showcase you. That sounded weird. Either way, we showed you a bunch of awesome games today, but now it's time to actually play them.
Up next, we're taking a deeper dive into some of the awesome games.
Rip.
ID at Xbox, Aster Blade of the Monolith, and Hangry, the ARPG that makes
That's the real problem, right? Is all these showcases have reached the point where they know that we're like dying on the inside, and so they like try to tease that Silksong could be there, and then we all come and watch. Here we all are, sitting watching the showcase because we want Silksong. I wouldn't be here otherwise. and then it's not here every time. Oh, it feels bad. That's classic. Yeah, Ori's platformer specific, but Ori 2 does have some more combat from my understanding. Again, I haven't played the second one yet, but the story is beautiful. The game looks good. It plays well. It's good. Yeah, what a disaster. You know, I really thought this might be the one. I'm gonna turn the sound down here on it. What a nightmare. Good God. I really, this seemed like the most likely showcase so far. Which, I mean, we always hope it's at every single one, but this one actually had some stuff going on around it. But at least with just between Team Cherry actually looking at their Kickstarter and some of the stuff Leth has said, I think we'll hear about it soon. Like, I'm thinking by the end of the summer, maybe the Summer Games Showcase. But even if they do it on their own, I think we'll hear something soon, I hope. And then hopefully it's not a huge... Honestly, even if they said it's a year out or something, I'd be fine with that. As long as we hear something. I think probably one of their biggest problems is that they're releasing it on all the gaming systems at the same time, which is a nightmare, especially for a small team like them. So it's probably... I imagine the game is done, or at least close to done. And so they're just working on making sure it releases properly on everything. I think when we get it, it's going to be good. Like, I don't have a lot of doubts about it. But any news would be fantastic. Yeah, but there are some good games on the horizon. There's a lot. I mean, there's so many great games out there, and you can't play them all, so there's always something to go back to. I suggest Baldur's Gate if you haven't played it. It's so good. Elden Ring DLC comes out soon. But yeah, there's so many great Metroidvanias too, from Nine Souls coming out. Go back to play some old Castlevania or Metroids. Ori, Guacamelee, Blasphemous. I'm going to be playing a lot of Hades 2 when that early access starts. Yeah, I felt like we were going to get something, but the Copium's too real. I'm excited for the Silksong news of the day. I'm hoping that he's real sarcastic about it. Could be the next one. I think by the end of the summer we'll hear something, but who knows when that'll be and what we'll hear. At least we can be pretty confident when we do hear something, it'll be good. Yeah. It's not the next one. Depends what the next one is. Summer Games Showcase is probably the best bet. But they also said that they're going to reveal it themselves, so they might not use the showcase to do it at all. I just feel bad for any game that ends up around the same date. All right. I guess we'll call this stream because that was a disappointment. Just a whole bunch of other weird games. One or two looked okay. Okay, well, watch out for more. I'm making mostly Baldur's Gate stuff right now, but if I do end up doing some Hollow Knight speedrun stuff, I might stream some of it. Plus, when Hades 2 Early Access drops, I'll be playing a lot of that too. So feel free to hang out, watch some videos. I'll see you for the next dose of Copium. Good God. How long can it last, right? Probably not forever. All right, thanks for hanging out, people. I enjoyed it. Until the next time. Yeah, and for what is for disappointment. All right. See you next time.